In this tutorial, you'll learn 5 different kinetic text animations that will elevate the titles in your videos. Start by typing your desired text. Deselect the text and select the Selection tool. Press Ctrl plus Alt plus Home to center the anchor point and Ctrl plus Home to center text to composition. Select the text layer and press Ctrl D twice to make 2 more copies. Select second and third layer. Uncheck the Fill option, check the Stroke option, and set the stroke value to 3. Now select the first and third text layer, then press P to reveal the position property. Add keyframes, move 30 frames forward. Deselect the layers, and change the vertical value to 440. Now change the vertical value of third layer to 640. Move the playhead 30 frames forward and change the value of first layer to 640 and third layer to 440. Again, move 30 frames forward and copy second column of keyframes and paste. Move 30 frames forward and change the vertical value of first and third text layers to 540. Select all keyframe, right-click, hover over Keyframe Assistant and select Easy Ease. Open the graph editor and adjust the graphs as I do to make the animation smooth. Let's add the flicker effect to it. Drag the playhead to the beginning and navigate to Effects and Presets. Search for Flicker. Double-click on the flicker loop under Looping folder to add it onto the text layers. I will proceed with the second text animation, following the first. Select all text layers and press P to display the position property. Remove all existing keyframes and then add new keyframes. Next, drag all the text layers towards the bottom, ensuring they are out of the visible screen area. Advance the playhead by 30 frames. For the first text layers, change the vertical value to 540. For the second text layer, change the vertical value to 640. And for the third text layer, change the vertical value to 740. Move the playhead 20 frames forward. Copy-paste the second column of keyframes. Again, move the playhead 30 frames forward and copy-paste the first column of keyframes. Select all keyframe, right-click, hover over Keyframe Assistant and select Easy Ease. Open the graph editor and adjust the graphs as I do to make the animation smooth. I will proceed with the third text animation, following the second. Select all text layers and press P to reveal position property. Move to the second column of keyframes. Select the third text layer and change the vertical value to 440. Move forward 10 frames and also change the value for next keyframe to 440. Now select the second and third text layer, navigate to Effects and Presets, and search for Wave Warp. Double-click to apply the effect. Now change the wave width to 80. You can create 3 text layers, 1 solid and 2 with only stroke. To avoid confusion and keep the video concise, I'll provide the keyframe positions directly. This will allow you to replicate the text movement with ease. You can copy the values for the starting keyframes for all 3 text layers. Now I will move 30 frames forward. You can change the values to these. Move 30 frames forward and change the values to these. Move 30 frames forward and change the values to these. Move 20 frames forward and change the values to these. Move 20 frames forward and change the values to these. Move 20 frames forward and change the values to these. Now move 10 frames forward and change the values to these. Now move 10 frames forward and change the values to these. You can select all keyframes and press F9 to easy ease. Continuing from the previous animation, I have one text layer with solid fill and two with only stroke. I will make 6 more copies of the text with stroke. Select all text layers and press P to bring up the position property, then add keyframes. Move 30 frames forward and insert another set of keyframes. Again, move 30 frames and add keyframes. Then, return the playhead to the middle set of keyframes. Deselect the text layers and begin adjusting the values individually. Select all keyframe, right-click, hover over Keyframe Assistant and select Easy Ease. Open the graph editor and adjust the graphs as I do to make the animation smooth.